Peace and love, black family. Dr. Umar Johnson, Prince of Pan-Africanism. We live. Detroit, Shrine of the Black Madonna, numero uno, number one. I'm out building with the guys. Building with the guys. Building with the guys.
There we go.
Building with the guys. Building with the guys. It's building with the guys, pay attention and listen. Mind filled with knowledge, heart pumping ambition. Never will I fail, appointed my position. Overstand my vision, I came through the mission. Another day, another dollar, life in the game. As the world turns, time will never change. Young black males constantly in change. Asking God late night, will they ever be free again? Overstand what I'm saying, I speak knowledge and truth. On the streets with my brothers and in the booth. Conspiracy in the air, want you to lose. Red or blue pill, choices got you confused. What I choose, who I'm destined to be. Me against the world with all eyes on me. So hater or love it, it's building with the guys. And I'm a young demigod going against all odds.
Hater or love it, these brothers building with the guys. And we always spit the knowledge to make your head nod. Saving our people, because they watching our documentary. It's renewing their history, taking over the sense. You gotta love it because we building with the guys. And we always spit the knowledge to make your head nod. Saving our people, because they watching our documentary. It's renewing their history, taking over the sense.
Peace and love, black family. Dr. Umar Johnson, Prince of Pan-Africanism. We live. Detroit, Shrine of the Black Madonna, numero uno, number one. I'm out building with the guys.
There we go.
Shout out to the Detroit Nawapian Nation for doing my security.
Yes, sir.
Looking out for Dr. Umar Johnson. They have my back. Nawapians all day long. Shout out to Dr. York. You're getting out soon. Hold your head, elder. Shout out to the whole Detroit, everybody who came out and showed love.
Chain though. I gotta fix my chain. I gotta oh yeah.
That's all about, man, building with the guys. Out here building with the people at the gas station.
Constitution of outlaws. For those that know, that's Mo, Islam, kings and queens. I love you.
Your head nod, saving our people. Because they watching our documentary, it's renewing their history, taking over the century. Started off with a vision just to make my people listen. So I made it my mission, pick out a camera and get it. Okay. What if I made a movie that would reflect so much beauty? I'll be building with the people, dropping knowledge like Huey. You can pull it on your TV or watch it on your iPod. The title of the show would be Building with the God. So that's what I did, I reached out to my people. If you're trying to get on the show, I'll be happy to meet you. We gon' have a conversation, hope don't nobody miss it. Cause it's gonna make us smarter if they only will listen. Talk about science, politics, religion, and music. Metaphysics, reality, and we not gon' confuse it. Now, all I need is a little help from my brothers. Akbar walks and cross co-hosting like it's no other. Making show after show and we making it fun. Before I knew it, man, the whole first season was done. Hated and love it, these brothers building with the guys. And we always spit the knowledge to make your head nod. Saving our people, because they watching our documentary. It's renewing their history, taking over the sense. You gotta love it because we building with the guys. And we always spit the knowledge to make your head nod. Saving our people, because they watching our documentary. It's renewing their history, taking over the century.
You know, once again, this is Building with the Guys.
Today we will have speeches by patriarchs degree, Red Pill, performances by Brick Foundation, and such things like that. So we hope you enjoy yourselves, and without further ado, we have Anthony Mine, and he will be giving you all Detroit announcements.
Today we're going to be dealing with a company, a social entrepreneurship, an initiative that we are starting called Facts. Now, for a lot of people that's familiar with the videos that me and my brother put forth, I say facts a lot, right? So, hashtag facts, because I'm the kind of teacher that likes to deal with just straight facts. You know what I'm saying? I saw a video with Seti when we was all in New York a few weeks ago, and he asked the brother, "You remember when you was born?" Because they was talking about all of this other stuff that they can't prove. He was like, you remember when you was born? And the brother was like, no. So why are you telling me about some stuff that you wasn't even there? You don't even remember. You don't remember shit from 20 years ago. Facts. So let's start dealing with facts. Facts are we're in a bad condition as a people. Not really though. Because you can look at it as the glass half full or half empty. You can look at the fact that we're in this room right now to show further proof that we got our shit together. We're good. We're Gucci. We're witnessing some stuff take place that was prophesized. Remember, what do you think Phil Valentine and Bobby Hemmett was properly preparing us, doing 300 plus lectures for 30 some odd years for? So when a police officer shoots one of us, we lose our brains and go crazy? But they was doing lectures telling you how the Europeans take universes out.
Wow. Dropping something.
That's what they did for 30 years. They showed you from their inception, all they do is pillage and rape and destroy in the name of their God for centuries. And then when one of us got killed by the police, we rewinded the tape and got back into something else. Sankofa. We remember revolution is going backwards. Why are we not evolving in our conversation? Because they proved to us all of that. So how the hell did they give you a name with a hashtag attached to it, and we started acting like this is, we just gonna wait for the jury to come out to see if they're guilty. And now, God damn it, we spent all of this time telling you that they was guilty. Yeah. The smoking gun already got, we already gave you the evidence. How did you let Bill O'Reilly rock you back to sleep in Fox 5? Huh? How did you let that happen? How was you stuck in the 60s now? Who's getting you out of the past? Huh? Because that's what a lot of these elections and these teachers are doing. They're keeping you stuck in that past. Your neck is broken on some Sankofa shit. You dig what I'm saying? But the teachers are trying to move you forward by being futurists and visionaries into an existence that you are not agreeing exists. Why study the great past if you're not preparing for the great future? It don't make sense. You living in the great now. You are the ancestors. Who the hell could tell you about your bloodline that goes into millennia? Who can tell you who you was, or who you supposed to be, or what book you supposed to be? And we all individuals, but we all one. But we all have all of these different experiences. Right? Don't when they break down your grandmother, it multiplies by all of these numbers. So aren't you all kind of experiences? So how could you only be a Kemet? How? It wasn't that many people in Kemet. The Nesu Biddies fit on a damn calendar, B. It's not that many pharaohs out here. Okay? What about the people that were in Kemet? What about the regular folks that just drunk tea, and played in the sand? And just burned incense. Can I just be that? Can I be the nigga that swept the goddamn pyramids and still be important? So facts is, they say food, clothing, shelter. But we live in a new era, right? In a new age. So we got to update it and add on. So we're now focusing on the facts. We all over the place. Not realizing that if we focus on what the ancestors, what Dr. Francis Cress Wilson gave to us, what Dr. Amos Wilson gave to us, what Dr. Phil Valentine gave to us, what Dr. Delbert Blair, they already did the work. This shit is like Bad Boy. Everybody want to reinvent the remix. Why are we remixing when they did the work? You just utilize the formulas that have already been thought out and put forth, and then you come back with results. That's technology. Technology is applied knowledge, what could be proven wisdom, and once it works, you're like, yeah, what works? It goes. Apple iPhone 1.0. Then they go 2.3 and all of these. As it improves through user, through experience and people utilizing the technology, you work out the kinks. So who's working out the kinks to the blueprint for Black Power? That was a Bible. who's working it out, who's working out what Claude Anderson put forth. But everybody want to be the new Claude. And they don't even got no books. I don't get it. You dig what I'm saying? They did that already. So food, agriculture, health and wellness, self-preservation, all kind of black farmers out here. You could Google that. You dig what I'm saying? All kind of scientists coming forth, KT Arts degree, Minister Inky, telling you the power, Dr. Sabi, what his diet list, right? My brother out of Texas has a superfood company, chlorella, spirulina, moringa. Why we not moving kilos of moringa? It's a superfood. They're going into Africa. You got European social entrepreneurs opening up budgets, getting NGOs and stuff like that through the UN, they're getting grants and all of that stuff to feed our people in Africa who are malnourished moringa. Ashi. Just saying. These are superfoods. And there's millions of us. And we all need food. Right? So we got to begin to own, and we have to begin to cultivate and grow our own foods, because we need those foods in order to be the God bodies that we want to be, and our children as well. So Detroit has all of this open land. Michigan has all of this open land. Illinois got all of this open land. Ohio got all of this open land. Forget the cities. What about the outskirts? What about when I'm driving, all that I'm seeing is open land? That's where you grow your food. All of these trucks that we go to the supermarkets that bring us these products, the produce, that shit is driven in. It's distribution. That's what those 18-wheelers are, bringing in food. So we could do the same thing. Why are we going to eat from people who's proven these are evil geniuses? These are mad scientists. They splicing pig guts in your tomatoes and all of this other stuff. So we have to be in control of our food. And this is what our company will be doing. We are in control of our food. So we have acreage inside of Know the Ledge, inside of our network alone. We have individuals who are members of our network, and they got hundreds of acres. They just don't know what to do with it. Brother Ray, get me in touch with this person. Give me that person's number. I want to talk to this person. But then they come back 3 years later like, I'm still waiting on that person to call me back. So what do we got to do? We got to step forward. We have to form that. We have to fill in the void that exists. Arms. Everybody's talking about, yo, what happens when we build and all of that stuff? The European is going to take it. Sounded like a victim. Sounded real scary, because if we was in the streets and you was like, yo, I'm thinking about buying that Rolls Royce, you know, I got my ones up and shit, but I don't know because I need security because they might take it. I'm gonna be like, that's a goofy right there. He sounds very scary, and chances are, you know, he doesn't deserve what he thinks that he needs, because he's not willing to fight for it. But how is it that inside of the conscious community, and y'all allow this to happen, there's people in the community that used to be in the armed services. There's people in the community that's law enforcement. It's all kind of veterans that be up here teaching. But nobody says to them, well, goddamn it, everywhere that the European is, it's a nigga in the corner. There's nowhere where they're at where we're not there. There's no war that they fought where we not in a war for the last 50 years. Right. So how the hell there's anything that the European doing that we don't do? You know, wherever you work at, you know the intricate inside and out of that company. It's just the nigger in you. You dig what I'm saying? We're not going nowhere, and we don't know how to work the machinery. We don't know how to work the technology. We not law enforcement, don't know how to shoot, only know how to shoot our own people. Or we inside of armed services and we only know how to protect ourselves. Now, there's all of these private armies that are out there. There's all of these like Titan, like Blackwater, and all of this other stuff. There are armies who protect people in their corporate interests, and they have the right to have all of the arms in the world, all of these weapons. They fly drones and all of this stuff. And what they did is incorporate themselves. Where's the brother Achille at? Chief Achille. They get into private trust. Private security firms protecting private individuals and their trust and all other things. Their interests, their corporate interests. So we go ahead and we wind up getting acreage, we wind up getting institutions and whatnot, and we get things in our names, we are justified by all laws, both commercial and everything else, to protect ourselves. And we can hire individuals who are veterans, who fought those wars, who have the intelligentsia, also the licenses, to carry arms and protect us. All right, problem solved. Get that shit out of your head. Like, it's not that serious. Because everybody else is protecting their own interests. And that's a fact. So, that's what we got to deal with. Cyber warfare. It's real. We need some hackers. Okay? Alright. We got to study the dark web and shit like that. They are going in every day on cyber war. America is getting hammered. Okay? By everybody but you. You can't even gather intelligence. If something happened and they shut off all of the water and the lights and whatnot, we don't even have the intelligentsia amongst us to respond to that. And that's real. Look, wait till I show you the technology and what's going on, and why we need to have that as a part of our organizations. Clothing. I'm a clothing designer. Okay? I can tell you the ins and outs of the clothing business. It is a multi-billion-dollar business. It is very essential, especially for people at war. We are at war, we have no wardrobe. Okay? We have no uniformity because we don't even wear the same uniforms. Alright? We can't identify each other based on uniform. You, mad deep, with the comedic knowledge, you know everything about the ancestors, everything about who you are, everything about everything, but your pants are below your ankles. Right? Or your clothes look like you are in your superhero days. Like, remember when we was young? Niggas would wear like Spider-Man, the man is super tight. You know what I mean? So the youth right now, they in a superhero phase because the clothes are very tight. They missing a cape. Peter Pan. Peter Pan. There you go. They on a Superman phase. They wearing leotards and, you know, everything. Onesies and shit. Like, they on one. But we all wear underwear. All of the men wear boxers and briefs. All of the women wear hosiery, right? We all wear socks, right? We all wear pants and sweaters when it gets cold. We can't pledge allegiance to Roman, you know, all of those labels out of Italy, like Gucci, Versace, Fendi, and all of that. You know, Italy is in Rome. You know that's some Roman shit, right? You know you promoting Rome when you get all of that. And you know Rome is Batiman, Babylon culture, okay? And you know that the clothing hold an energy to them, especially with the hands that actually design the clothes. We held that in high regards back in the days. Couldn't touch our clothes. You couldn't make our garments. This was part of our uniform. Because when we all butt-ass naked, we just, you know, we're on one. It's your uniform, your clothing. The emperor has no clothes. It's all of this that means something. If I go back here, then I hop out with all blue on in the shield. Oh shit, he's the police. The only thing that changed was the uniform. If I hop out with a white coat on, with a stethoscope, I'm a doctor. I can get up here and start going in like KT with the doctor terms. And I became a doctor just like that. I didn't even have to show you a certificate. I just had to give you the uniform and to be able to back that up. So when are we going to start dressing like gods and goddesses and back that up? It's the uniform that comes with that. So we've been creating that uniform for 10 years. That was my entry into the conscious community. My first endeavor or my first offering was through the wardrobe. Through the uniform, because I promoted Ralph Lauren and Tommy Hilfiger and all of my enemies throughout my years. I did a good job at that. You dig what I'm saying? And never got nothing back for it, but you know, pat on the back. You know what I mean? Good job done. But that wasn't pushing the culture. So once I learned the culture, I realized if I put the iconography and things of that nature, or the culture on the clothing, we could speak to people without having to say anything. So the clothing is just an icebreaker, but it allows you now to identify oneself you know, through uniformity, transportation. How can we have food, clothing, and shelter, but we can't move around? Gotta be able to move. This the motor city. Y'all build cars out here, right? There's factories ready for you to get back in and do it again. If it was done before, it could be done again. Kudos that they went overseas and took the jobs out of here, because you are the job. It's just an LLC, it's a piece of paper. Okay, GMC and all of that, he just explained that to you. You could create that with $300. You could create your own car company. They 3D printing cars right now. What's our excuse? They 3D printing cars. Okay. Like for real. Technology, app development, service as a software, computer language. Gotta learn it. Gonna learn it. Need to learn it. Why we not learning it? That's the shit of the future, of the now. Shelter, law, security, real estate, earthships, community, economics, strategy, political science, war college, and some fucking plans that we're actually going to carry out. Not just sound mad deep with multiple syllables and, you know, and they never see us again. Like real plans, because time is ticking and the time is now. And we are all grown, right? I guess we had enough of the horror, you know, but how much can we take of the desensitizing, dehumanizing, beating upside of our head the mainstream media and every other day is providing us? This shit is like going into the House of Horrors. Every day you wake up, it's like opening the curtain. All right, I'm about to log on to Facebook. Here, let me go get my sage, smudge myself, and get a smoothie and shit, because when I get on, it's something that's I know there's some new atrocity that's gonna visit me. It's a new scandal. Somebody slept with somebody else last night. We're gonna find out about it. Oh my goodness. Due to some tweets and stuff like that. You know? There's a new criminal out there that's trying to take our babies, and, you know, there's a new boogeyman in some state that your ass will never visit, hundreds of thousands of miles away. Why they killing you right here, but they want you to focus on right there? Do you know what that is? You need to sit, this is Detroit, go sit with the pimps and the con men, and they'll tell you about the goddamn hustle and the con. Hit them looking this way while you hit them right here. Right? You focus on what the left hand doing while the right hand is doing something else. So they're killing us, right? They murdering us, and they talking about ISIS. And they created ISIS. But Francis Cress Wilson wrote the ISIS papers. And y'all ignoring that. And y'all think the war against ISIS is some goddamn people, some Israelis with masks on, that they told you that they created. They're giving you the proof that they created it. And you know that it's a war on you. You know that that shit is talking about us. But we still being, oh nah. We implausible deniability. Nah, fam, that's not us. That's them stinking Arabs. That's them Arab. No, Negro, your mama name was ISIS on Facebook. And so is your daughter. And so is your girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? They didn't get the lessons about offset quick enough. They ISIS. And she wrote the paper called the ISIS Papers. You can't berate her. She knew what she was talking about. That's they shit. We're offset and they're ISIS. We're Kemet and they're Egypt. It's still relatable. It's Greco-Rome. It's the Ptolemies. They're still in power. It's still an Inquisition. Are you serious? The Islamic State of the Levant, a caliphate. The Moors started out here. You don't know what they're talking about? You know, you're not realizing what Islamophobia really is about? And you think that they're talking about the Arab. The Arab is in bed with the European because they both Europeans to they the Turks to get rid of your black asses who got the land like he just told you, who own the goddamn land in the estate that they want. Come on, man. Are you serious? They don't get it. Next. And the food, it's a no-brainer. We got to get into our own our agriculture. It's not hard. We got people with heirloom seeds. You dig what I'm saying? We got people that got superfoods. They growing it by the abundance. We could buy acreage and we could do that. We don't have to personally do it ourselves. There's all kind of people in the community that's dying to do it. 7 Heaven Sea Moss. This is an offering that my brother Blue Pill took him 7 years to put together. Sea moss, avocado, coconut, banana, almond, agave, water. It's vegan, organic, and alkaline. 98 trace minerals and nutrients. KT will give you the beneficial nutritional properties to the superfood. You can feed your baby this instead of Similac. This is the new baby food. This is the food that the elders can eat when they can't eat anymore. This is the food that you eat when you're on a run and you don't want to eat all of the stuff that's killing us. This is, whoever has 7 Heaven Sea Moss. I know Brick had it. Please attest to how it tastes.
It tastes awesome, and it gave him life, man. We was running around New York, and anybody who's been to New York, it's a walk. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of walk, a lot of motion that you're doing. And I was about to pass out in the museum. They passed me a bottle of it. I didn't know what it was. I took some, and I was right back at it.
And this is not a paid commercial. This is not that show. You know, I could never get chubby in New York because you burn all of your goddamn calories every day on that rat rate, on that wheel. I told you rent is how much? Okay, so it will create it has created a culture and a mentality. When you want to know what's going on with New York and why people understand what the rent is, study the economics of it, then you will find out why things come out there, why people kill to eat in those streets of New York. It's very aggressive. You dig what I'm saying? Because that's the nature. That's how they built it up. Next. Just some images of 7 Heaven Sea Moss. My brother will have the powder for shipping. He will be able to send that out. This is Soul Gold. The brother has Soul Gold liquid drops. Soul Gold is gold, liquid gold. Not liquid, looks like gold, sounds like, no. Liquid gold, real gold, like AU. Liquefied silver, liquefied copper, because that's what's inside of our bodies, and that's what we're not getting in the nutrients of the food that we're eating. They drain everything. So it's called replenishing the nutrients that are naturally in your body. You are gold. That's why you are attracted to it. That's why when you wear it, it shines a certain way. You ever see Europeans wear gold? I never saw a diamond shining on a European. How about that? Like they wore the ice, like they wore it, but I never saw it go off. Like the diamonds never danced with them. But when we wear it, it just goes off. It's all over the place. Because that's who you are. It's intricately inside of you. You dig what I'm saying? And he has the Soul Gold water, actual water that has the gold inside of it. So it's not about talking about it. It's about doing the research and then developing brands to service your community in the now. That's all this is about. The solutions. So instead of tap water, right? This kid breaking our teeth, doing all of this other stuff to us, and messing our skin up, and messing up our reproductive organs, we take alkaline water. We do the alkaline water so we can preserve ourselves. We do the gold and the mineral and the platinum so we can feed our cells and whatnot. How KT talks about the molecular level. All right? Artillery, armory. This is what we need. This is what we have. This is what we are going to bring forth. These are brothers out of the motherland in Africa. As you can see, they're even for hire. If you want to take it there. If you really want to take it there, they're for hire. So when we go to the continent and when we go over to the continent to do what it is that we got to do, the stark reality is you're going to have to hire some of them. Okay? That's what's going to have to happen. I don't want to paint it like it's a dystopian situation, but you know, Africa has its challenges. You got to protect yourself. Some of the technology, some of the weaponry that's out there, you know, I don't want to make anybody nervous just saying the word weapons, because that's how they conditioned us. If I step up here and I talk about arms and weapons, you get all nervous. But we go to the movies, we go watch TV all day, CSI, they be chopping people up, and you know, you watch the videos. So we're just talking about protecting ourselves, being responsible, but knowing that we live in a world where arms exist. So if we was in the kingdoms of Africa and the empires of Kemet and whatnot, we would still talk about weapons and artillery and stuff like that. It would just be different. You feel what I'm saying? So there's all kind of body suits that are out right now. There's all kind of protection that is out right now, Kevlars, you know what I mean? You got aerial drones, you got laser technology, all of this stuff. So we could teach about what the white man has and what he's doing and just make you more debilitated and scared. Or we could just show you what's out there. It don't have a skin color or a nationality attached to it. It's not a white thing. God damn it, it's a Kevlar vest. There probably some people in China made, to be honest with you, or India, and you too could go online and buy your own, okay? At a time where you're not sure if the dollar is going to fall, or if you're not sure if Donald Trump is going to be president. You have a right to defend yourself and bear arms. For the people who not got tagged and put through the prison complex industry and you know, put all kind of cases on your name, for those who are clean, well, you have a job now ahead of you. You have a task to protect us who can't acquire these things. That's your task. All right? Next. We have a standing army. So we don't got to look around and say, oh, who's going to protect us? They're not ready. No. You got brother Sarah Subasetti, who been out here for about 10 years working. Putting that information out, raising up the people in their spirits, telling them that the war's evident, that the war's on the horizon, that they're at war with us. As the years go by, you know, what you may have questioned and doubted has come true. So everywhere that we went over the last year, all we've seen is standing armies. Million Man March, God damn it, we knew 80% of the people out there, just based off of YouTube. Right? They showed up for the or else. They wanted to know what's up. You know? A lot of conversations wasn't had on film, but they was there for the or else. I saw a whole bunch of or else stuff, or else's. You know? I saw or else per paraphernalia. I was like, well, goddamn, y'all ready? They ready? Everywhere we go, the numbers are up. The people is together, you know. There may be some ideological differences, but for the most part, we know who's at war with us, and we know beyond a reasonable doubt that we are stronger together than we will ever be apart. You feel what I'm saying? So this is just, we took this picture. Where's Keith at? Brick, you there?
I'm up there somewhere.
What time did we take that picture? And we Negroes. So this was early.
Yeah, it's about 11:30.
On a Sunday, at 11 o'clock. Some black Negroes. Alright, look how many of us came outside at 11 o'clock on a Sunday. I'm just saying. So later on in the day, that group right there multiplied by 10. Man. I promise you.
600.
Yeah, but the thing multiplied by exponentially. That's just 11 a.m. on a Sunday. And I'm only giving you that time to show you know we late to everything. So for the people that showed up at 2 o'clock, that would have been a whole nother group. So we ready, we here.
We time adjusters, remember?
Yeah, we do adjust time. So it's cosmic time. Art appreciates with value. When I was talking about when I started selling t-shirts 10 years ago, my brother drew that, and that was the first design that I put on the t-shirt. Now, the image that I utilized, the reason why I utilized that image is because when my brother did it, he put a modern day twist to an ancient concept. This nigga threw a Rolex on a pharaoh. That was sacrilegious back in the days. You know? Huh? Yes, of course. You know, he threw the rollie, he threw the tattoos and all of that on the Nessu Biddy. Then he put him next to the train station with the buildings in the background. Keep in mind, I'm talking about a time that existed where there was not a youth movement called the conscious community. This was 2005. The elders were on the forefront of the community. the youth were not necessarily into the consciousness like that. Or if they were into it, they were not living the life of consciousness. We was all studying. We did David Icke back in the days. All the, we did the Illuminati stuff. But we wasn't living consciousness. It's a total different experience. You read a book about rock climbing, then your ass is on Mount Kilimanjaro calling your mama. You know what I'm saying? 200,000 leagues above sea. It's just a different experience. So I was like, yo, this is a wave that I would love to see. Like, the youth talking about Kemet? Tattooed up with Kemetic? Like, I couldn't stay, like, there was nights that I couldn't sleep. Right? Because when you're a visionary and you can see into the future, and when you see what the future has to offer, and you know that time is just a mental it's not real. We exist in the past, the present, and the future right now. At the same damn time. Don't fall for that. Oh, no. Your future self is communicating with you at all times. And so is your past self. It's you that's not in tune. You got to pick up the signals. Artists who write rhymes, they can tell you the truth. Your rhymes come to you from the future and the past. You write stuff in in years, and then they come later like, damn, I wrote that shit from 08. How did I know that it was speaking of some time now? So art appreciates with value. So all Renaissance, all movements like the Harlem Renaissance, it was preceded by art. When the Moors did what they did in Europe, it was preceded by art, the Age of Enlightenment. What we are going to Kemet all of these years and paying homage to is art. That's art on the wall, family. Don't get it messed up. If the art wasn't precise, you probably wouldn't be inclined to take your ass over there like that. It's the perfection of the art, right? The symmetry of the, oh my goodness, everything is aligned. You know what I'm saying? Sacred geometry, Fibonacci, golden ratio. Oh my goodness, they didn't have rulers. How they do that? They do it like they have Photoshop. It's the art, right? It intrigues us. We are artistically inclined. So when you get into your art, you find your wealth. Look at the stone right there. That's an agate from Brazil. Right? The pink stone right there with the Heru falcon on it. You know what I'm saying? And the Moldavite and all of these other things. But these are, do you know that there's a stock market for precious stones? Do you know that 80% of the stones come out of Brazil? Do you know that Brazil is our land? Huh? The Americas? Huh? As well as Africa. Did you know that they found a piece of Africa under Florida? You can Google that right now. Huh? Do you know that the Gullah Geechee land is part of Africa and that shit split? But it's Africa underneath America, so that argument is over? This is Northwest Africa, so your precious stones and your precious, all of this stuff is it's a market for that, man. Because amethyst never stops doing what amethyst told you that it was going to do. A diamond don't stop blinking, and it doesn't stop cutting things, and it will never break like it said it was going to do. So diamonds don't, precious stones don't one day, they're not niggified. They're not, I don't think I want to shine today. I've been shining too much for them. They don't appreciate me, and they don't got ego. Right? It just does what it says it's going to do. So, it's a worth in that. Media, part of art, okay? Me and my brother, when we started out in media years ago, we recognized that content is king. What you have to do in this new era, this digitized, electrified age, this technological era, where a time exists where you could get in front of thousands of people, and I'm not contracted to a Hollywood studio. I didn't spend a night on the casting couch. Huh? And I'm global. That's a revolutionary feat. And I'm able to go global talking about them and their system, and I did not contract with them. All right, the only contract that we signed is YouTube, okay? And they send you peanuts for your videos, all right? For their little ads and stuff like that. And then the other contract is with the ancestors. But content is king. So I'm able to affect not just me, there's a whole bunch of us. Polite, Sarnetta, Umar, Sabi, Valentine, KT, Red, Blue, AA, Delbert, Taj Tariq Bey. I can name the content kings, right? Who have utilized the digital medium, who Marcus Garvey, I'll show you, talked about in the STEAMS conference. He said technology is the Negro saving grace 100 years from now. He said that 100 years ago, 1920. We're going into 2020. They put 100 years ago, they put the work in, right? They became prophets and put the work in about what's going on right now to prepare us. So he said, and Noble Drew Ali said, technology is your saving grace. So we're utilizing technology to change the hearts and minds of the people, and also to improve the image of the black man as being an undesirable, right? Because that's what they portrayed us as in Katrina. An undesirable, a refugee, and a useless eater. Do you know the legal terms to that? Do you know what that means? He just described to you what's going on. Pause that. He just described to you what all of that means. That's a fancy way of saying cannon fodder. That's a fancy way of saying dead in the eyes of the law. I'm sorry. This is not emotional at the end of the day. This is just facts. So who countered that? Who said that's not who we are? President Obama didn't even run on that. He ain't mention it. He don't mention us. He comes from a European. Okay? The Moors are familiar with people like Barack Obama, with European mothers who look like us, who work for Rome. Is that a fact or not? That's how they fell. Their sons killed them. The mulattoes who came from the European mothers. Because when you at war, or when you in conflict, who are you going to side with, your mama or your father? You're going to side with mama. So that ends all arguments. His mama white. Or European, I don't call them white. They're not a color. White is that shit is snow and some other things. White. That's not, they can't attribute themselves to a color that has a meaning and a denotation that's not in line with who they are. Even the elders will tell you they became white in the 1800s. That is even a new concept, because the Italians banged on the Irish, banged on the Jews, and the Roman Catholics banged on all of them. So they were never together. They utilized that white title or that status to do what it is that they're doing today. So media, we get into a streaming service in 2006. You got Netflix, we got Netflix. Okay? We bring in streaming. We're going to take the YouTube concept, and we're going to take all of these different channels and bring them all together as a stream. So you'll have a Valentine channel. You'll have a Metaphysics channel, an Occult channel, a Hemet channel, a Francis Press Wilson channel. I'm in contact. I'm sitting down with UGR, Sarnetta TV, HOK, our brother Clemson Brown, who is an elder, who is a legend, who has Dr. Benz and Clarks that he never even converted. Sister Burke out of New York, who made transition, who has a library that's never been seen. Some of the people with Gil Noble. All of this stuff will be part of our stream that we will own. Because I'm into equities and I'm into shares. This is not me getting up here showing you any kind of entities that we will not own collectively. That's not how you evolve. The power is in the people, and I'm going to show you by the end of the presentation how the power of the people is going to fuel this thing forward. Movie cameras and equipment, this is something that we need. This is something that we all should have in our possession. This is something that we have to be able to use in order to change the image of the black family, the black man, and the black woman on a global scale. They got cameras right now, 4K cameras, the black magic camera, the red camera. All of these have to be in our possession. We got to tell our own stories right now. Why the hell is all of the Hollywood studios in Detroit?
Right.
Why is this a new Hollywood? Do you know why? Do you see your environment? Do you know the amount of stories that you could tell in a dystopian environment?
Gotham City.
This is Gotham City. They did Batman is freaking Superman here. Wake up to where you at. This is the whole city is a studio. Because out of dystopia, what do you get? The rose that grows from the concrete. Out of dystopia, you get utopia. You know what I mean? Out of something destroyed, is something that's born. Out of chaos, you get order. So this place is, they love it. Why you don't? We got to tell all kinds of stories. You know what I'm saying? We have to project you got to project this society to the world in an artistic manner. I'm only speaking to the creatives amongst us now who could understand from an artistic standpoint the power of interpretation or the power of utilizing your environment to manipulate DNA. Like, these are the different, this is just media. It's just showing you media is king. Tell your own stories. Goddamn it, lie. Tell a story about the European that you know is true. You're waiting for him to show you a story about himself when he's going to blow himself up. He's not going to do that. If you want to see the conscious community succeed, tell a story about what we did in 2020. Just take us in 2020. That's how you change history. You tell it ahead of time. You want a revolution, make the film about it, man. And then it takes place because life is imitating art now. The shit switched. I don't know when it switched. I think it switched the night The Matrix came out. I don't know. I think it switched when the towers fell. But life imitates art in the Web 2.0 world. In the digital realm, when they switched from analog to digital, it changed. So now you manipulate time and you manipulate reality through media, through new media, through cameras, through music, through your art, and then you watch reality catch up to it because it's really holographic, for real, for real. You know what I'm saying? So the creatives amongst us, the Renaissance men and women amongst us are the ones that are going to be charged for changing the future. They call it Afrofuturism. Google that. That's a power in itself. Afrofuturism. Sun Ra was an Afrofuturist. Sophia Stewart is an Afrofuturist. Octavia Butler is an Afrofuturist. And you have Afro-Surrealism. Dr. Francis Cress Wilson is an Afrofuturist and a Surrealist. Alright, so they came up with terms and titles and whatnot. Hip-hop, $1 trillion industry, breakdancing, right? So inside of facts, what we're doing is, from the art aspect, we're going to be dealing with owning our own labels, owning our own digital distribution labels. You don't need record labels no more. What were record labels? They were bank loans. I'm going to sign you for $3 million. You're going to pay me back $5 million. I'm going to pay your phone bill for you and your light bill. You're going to pay me back with interest. Then I'm going to contract you, contractually enslave you, and tell you that you'll sell all of your albums and give me $19.98 and you get to get 2 cents because we like you. That's almost saying, like, we don't even want to pay you. We just want the rapery to be all 100% with no Vaseline. But we can give you a smidgen, 2 cents, because I like you like that. These are what our brothers and sisters are getting into. You don't need them no more. You got your own industry. So brick the foundation. Alright? Rock. You got the Twin Pillars. You know what I mean? You got the whole God Hop movement. Okay? Coming out of ATL, NYC, this is all what we're going to be dealing with. Concerts. Coming to cities like this. Rocking. Showcases. We got a mixtape on Bandcamp under the Twin Pillars. We put this out in 2011.
It's fire too.
Yeah, it's hard body. We was doing stuff in 09, 08. Because as artists, you have to speak the language of the people and contribute to the culture any means necessary. Fashion, film, music, health, documentary, business, empowerment, whatever it takes, that's what you do. Okay? Clothing. Something that I see in Detroit could be a powerhouse for Detroit. Like I said, we have multiple brands that exist already. Pharaonic brand, Nubia Apparel, Kings County, Brother Unk and them we affiliated with. You know what I'm saying? Nagash with the sneakers. You know what I mean? What's Up African with the Hella Black, Hella Proud shirt. So each one of us know that there's 7 days in a week. we should at least have 7 days outfits of black-owned apparel businesses in our closet. If there's 1 million of us, then we're guaranteed to say that each brand will at least be a millionaire. At least have 1 million products sold. Now, by doing that, we become LLCs. We get with brothers like Chief Achille. We get our credit lines and our LLCs together. We do business together and build up our credit. That's how businesses work. They go to Dun & Brad. They get their credit lines and whatnot. And as they work together as businesses, your credit rises. Now, I can give loans to each one of the family in the building. How many designers are in the audience? By a show of hands. See? See? You would never know that. Catch that on camera, KT? How many designers are in there by show of hands?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Well, you got empty factories in Detroit. Clothing factories just sitting there. Machinery, everything is there. Shit got cobwebs in it. Then there's factories that are open, that are functioning, that you could buy into or you could come into there, especially if you coming in saying I'm representing 10 brands. I got 100 racks, right? We move it in. We want to take over part of the operation. And we know how you know how businesses absorb. Within 5 years, you're buying the business, right? So now we have moving Shark Tanks, right? Where we come together, picture, we got a stage where there's a Polite up there. You know what I mean? Representing New Covenant. Then we have a representative from HOK. Then we got a representative of KTL. But each one of them has a suitcase with 20 racks in it. Then we're bringing our young gods and goddesses on stage to display their talents and skills. And then we decide who we're going to invest in. Right? But if you made it this far, you're already guaranteed an investment. But there will be grand prizes to encourage those amongst us who are the creatives and who are inventing and who are bringing forth ideas to go hard. Come on. You got to enter competition into the arena. You know what I'm saying? This is the clothing line that we have, Kings County. We've been in the streets for 10 years. Strong. I got a few pieces in the back. Hopefully by the time I leave, they'll all be gone. But these are collector's items. You feel what I'm saying? We have ways of taking factories, utilizing feng shui, utilizing cleaning techniques, utilizing putting certain argon pyramids in the corners, changing the ions, negative to positive, all kinds of things that will ensure that those factories or those workplaces will not just be places of work, but they'll also be places of health. You know what I mean? And then you implement, like I said, you got the food, you got the water, all of these things will be a part of that culture. So it's about taking the culture that already exists, that all of these brothers and sisters have been coming to stand on these stages and teach us about, and using it in environments where we could thrive. And then saying, yo, that works, my brain is activated, look what I created. And then we know by what it is that we're creating by our output, right? The input has already been there. We got a lot of input over these years. You know those late night YouTube binges? Right. You know the YouTube diet plan? Where you don't eat, you just watch videos and stuff. Just want to drink alkaline water, you know, and indulge in sacramental stuff. And just watch videos. The input era. The output era is saying that we're confident enough to know that this stuff is applicable and it's going to work for us right now. Okay? Go one back. All right, this is just the red camera. The red camera is the go-to camera for Hollywood films that you see right now. The clarity and things of that nature on that camera is excellent. Don't quote me, but I think Hidden Colors, the 3rd and the 4th series, may be filmed on the red camera. And you see about the clarity and the cleanness that that documentary has, right? You know what I mean? The red camera might run you 30 racks. Google it right now. Anybody in the audience has Google. Go to either eBay or Amazon. We don't want to go directly when we're looking for stuff like that. We go to the discount first. But the biggest discount is Alibaba, which is if you have time, you wait for your overseas package. Alibaba is a behemoth that has eclipsed Amazon and all of them. They're located in China. They are the factory that's sending the stuff. So you're cutting the middleman. The European is Amazon and eBay. All right, that's their empire. The Ming Dynasty, right? Because we got to go back to our ancient original self. So when we was doing merchant trade, you think we went to the European? That was the customer. Who in the streets? Who ever been in the streets before? Or know somebody that been in the streets? Okay. If you know somebody that been in the streets, they'll tell you about the European customer mind state. Okay? Very subservient life. Very subservient, on their knees type, right? So they're just giving you a telltale sign of who they are intrinsically. Like the stock and the breed of the European pilgrim in Detroit is different from the one in New York. I peeped that. You know? The European here knows that he's a recessive. He's aware, he's in touch with his recessiveness. I haven't really seen too many of them walking around like they the dominant. They just, you know, I guess the melanin is so strong, or the melanin is so dominant in Detroit that they know that there's certain things that they can't get over with. So when we were merchants, Detroit was founded as a trading post. Okay? Detroit it's a port. It's a trading post for furs and Hines Trappers Island. Trappers, all of the trappers here on Trappers Island now. But this was originally for the trap guards. So we was the trappers, we were the trap guards from all the way back then. The European, they had to sign contracts and treaties even to do commerce with us. There had to be sit-downs with them. They were never the go-to guy. Okay? The go-to guy was the Asians and the Indians and the other continental Africans that we would trade with. And that's what we go back to now. Sankofa. So Alibaba in India and other places are popping. So you're going to get all of this stuff at a discount rate. You know? But we got magicians in the audience. So if one of y'all could just make that shit magically appear, I wouldn't question where the magic trick came from. Next. 10 excellent platforms for building mobile apps. Alright? We got to go online with the time that we have on our hands and find these programs that are for free and teach this to our children. This is what we're going to be teaching inside of our network, inside of FACTS. We're going to be building mobile apps. This shit is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Especially when you're part of the digital era. How many people have a child under the age of 6 or 7? It's like 10 and down. Yo, isn't your child like the reincarnation of Steve Jobs and shit? How is it that these little babies know how to work your phone better than you? How is it your ass can't win in none of the swipe games that they playing you in? The mobile app game. How they beating you at 3 years old? Who do they know? They're born into the digital era, into the digital age. They are hardwired from birth. This is their time. You gotta prepare them. You gotta prepare the time to be conducive for their asses, because they the ones that's gonna be making multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar apps. They're going to get you out the projects. It's the babies. He was already told that. They're the ones. If you might not grasp that, it's not for you, it's for them. That's why they got all of the app programs for the kids. I'm going to show you. For the children, pardon me. Because kids are goats. Next. This is another aspect. We're doing a presentation tomorrow here called 90s 2.0. It's going to talk about